Is the housing market headed for a crash?
For past few years, mortgage rates were significantly lower than they now. People who bought or refinanced the properties back in 2020 and 2022, they have super low rates. You can get a better price now.
Can real estate make you rich?
Definitely yes. And you have to find your niche. Spend at least 5 years and you'll be successful. It's very hard to get new clients on board if you don't do social media.
Nick, good afternoon and welcome to the studio.
Hi Nikita, thank you for inviting. Great studio, great to be here.
We're going to be starting talking about the housing market in general, and right now the most common question in the Google actually is the housing market headed for a crash?
I have a good pulse on the market through my brokerage firm. We have more than 100 agents. Right now what is happening, I don't think the market is heading towards the crash. Why? Because for past few years, especially from 2020 until 2022, mortgage rates were significantly lower than they now. And here in the US, we have 30-year fixed mortgage rates. Right, like in Europe, it's completely different story. The rates over there, they follow European Central Bank rate, right? So over there, the rate is fluctuating. But over here, people who bought or refinanced the properties back in 2020 and 2022, they have super low rates at inflation, almost which equal to inflation. So they don't want to give up their housing. They will keep working and keep making the payments towards their mortgages. And they might not upgrade to the new car right now because they have other expenses and like some credit card debt. But because they secure this rate back then, which is like can be 2.5%, 3%. Right. I asked them like, do you want to put your house on the market? Like, no, we will wait and we will be paying it off.
And I definitely understand those people who are trying to do this because you won't find the rate like 2.5% or 3% right now.
I don't think the rates will ever go back to this amounts. And if you have a mortgage with 2.5% rate, keep it as long as you can.
Like, do not touch it.
A lot of people, they did refinance their homes back then. That's the situation which we have now. We don't have a lot of inventory in the market because of that. And we're not heading into crash, at least as far as I know, in Florida. I'm a licensed real estate broker in Florida. I have a license in 6 other states, but I don't keep a pulse on the market over there. Over here, we have a good grasp, and I see transactions in the brokerage firm. The houses under $1 million still sells fairly quickly. The average time on the market can be about 40 days. The more premium segment, $1 million and above, can stay longer on the market right now because the sellers are looking for cash buyers, and there are cash buyers in the market now, but they have advantage right now in comparison to people who are obtaining mortgage.
Right.
They can negotiate a little better price. But people are used already to 7%, 7.5% rate because the Fed keep postponing and in the news they're waiting for inflation to stabilize. Inflation is stabilized now, but I hope, this year it will be one decrease, and let's see what's going to happen.
But correct me if I'm wrong. I would say it's worth it to get a house right now instead of just waiting for the rates to drop.
Okay, so this is the very controversial situation which we have. You can get a better price now because you can negotiate more because there is more inventory already. The inventory levels went up to, in different counties, but if you take a look at Miami-Dade, Broward County, to 4 to 5 months of inventory, which is normal for market, which has been before in 2019, 2018, were the same numbers. During the pandemic, the inventory levels decreased to like 1 to 2 months. That's why it was shortage of inventory, prices were through the roof, interest rate was low. And even back then, people who were buying homes, remember it was an auction almost on, if it's a house in good area, people will bid above the market price. So they were overpaying a little bit, but getting this very good rate at 2.5%, 3%, but they were willing to overpay for the home. That was happening. Really, I remember we never had this situation before. Now it's opposite. You can negotiate more on the price, but you will pay more for your rate. Your rate will be higher. So you can still find approximately the same deals if you do the math correctly. And we are here to help our clients on the mortgage side and then on the real estate side to run the numbers and make sure they're still getting a good deal, because their prices keep appreciating in some of the areas. I checked 3 months ago, Sunrise was #1 city in the whole United States as far as appreciation.
Really?
So the homes were there about, you can buy a home for $350,000, $450,000, and now you look at them, they can be like $550,000, $600,000.
Wow.
You can pay higher rate, but you look for other
It's worth
factors.
it. Yeah. Right, definitely. Since you have way more experience in real estate, can real estate make you rich? And what are the key strategies?
I've been doing real estate since 2012, and so last 12 years I've been solely focused on real estate, but in different aspects in residential and commercial. Answer to this question, definitely yes, but you have to be persistent and you have to find your niche. I'm always telling it to my agents, to my partners, find the niche in the real estate market, because in real estate businesses, it's huge. You have residential real estate, you have commercial, you have
Mixed use.
Yeah, mixed use, you have development. For first 10 years, I was focused solely on residential. And I made sure I'm like no more than average like real estate broker. And then I moved to development side and commercial side of business, because right now we also build new construction multifamily properties. When you fully involved in your business on daily basis, you find these cool deals which you can buy, invest yourself and resell and make a profit. And then you slowly build your residual income, stable income from properties which you rent, and at some point you're already not dependent on the commissions. Because before I started as a real estate agent, I was on a commission basis, I was helping clients. Again, this is a long answer, but short answer is definitely yes. Be persistent, find your niche, spend at least 5 years and you'll be successful.
Right. Since you've been doing mortgage and real estate, you actually run a huge real estate company. What do you see as the major pain points in the interaction between these parties and how they can be resolved?
We have real estate brokerage firm and I'm licensed mortgage loan originator, right? I always disclose that I'm licensed real estate broker and licensed mortgage loan originator. It definitely has to be disclosed. We attach additional disclosure to the contract. But in the aspect of working with the clients and my agents, it's actually benefiting us and my firm now that I'm there and I'm licensed and I know how the process works from the inside. I can always answer the questions to my agent directly, and it actually helps to close more transactions. We help our agents, and everybody is happy.
It makes a lot of sense when you know the real estate agent, real estate business, and you know the mortgage business from inside. What management strategies for your team of agents can mortgage brokers use to increase their effectiveness?
Main strategy is to keep everybody aware of the programs of what we can do at A&D Mortgage, because some agents, they still not aware that there are programs for entrepreneurs, for businessmen with bank statements. There are DSCR programs which we can discuss as well. So we do weekly trainings. I do myself trainings once a month on commercial real estate and on the mortgage side of the business. Agents are fully informed and they can pass this information to their clients. Another strategy, of course, I'm active in social media. I make sure I tell about the mortgage programs and about current situation on the financial markets, and we do updates on Federal Reserve. So as soon as Mr. Powell speaks, on Bloomberg or financial, news, we will announce it and tell our clients so they're also aware. And social media is second good strategy, which I advise to everybody. Right now, if you in a business where you are licensed professional, that's a must to have a social media outlet.
100%.
If you don't have time yourself, you need to find somebody who can help you and handle it. It's very hard to get new clients on board if you don't do social media.
Definitely agree. We covered that in the other episodes of ANG Mortgage Digest, that the social media is everything right now, and everyone's in the internet, so it's way easier to find clients, to help clients on the social media.
That's why we're doing this video. I also active on YouTube, so if you're interested in taking a look at like our new construction projects, you can follow me. The link can be below.
I know what I'm going to be doing tonight. What type of financing are the best suited for investors?
I've been working with investors since the beginning of my real estate business, because we started fix and flip business when we will buy mismanaged property or property which requires renovations, starting back in 2012. We were not aware of the programs which we can use, so we always trying to work with the partners or invest like our own last cash into the deals. I was doing it with my father because he's very good with construction. I'm more into finding the deal, making the transaction happy, buy and then sell the property. Very important to know that A&D Mortgage have such programs as DSCR, for example. When we look specifically at the property, not at your income, your bank statements, but
or debts.
Yeah, we can look at the property itself. And for example, if it's a duplex, it can be in fair condition, can be financed, then you can keep renting one side, renovate the other side. But make sure you're aware of all the prepayment penalties. If you want to pay more on the rate or on the points on the closing, you can get a shorter prepayment penalty, or you can buy the asset, renovate, stabilize, refinance it later on after your property is stabilized. We want to see that the property is stabilized. And of course, another program, if the property is in fair condition, you still can, if you're a business owner, you can go with bank statements, 24 months or 12 months. For investors, I think A&D Mortgage has super good resources, and the approval process is much easier than with the bank, because larger bank, they will not even take a look at it if the inspection report has some red items or orange items on it, and they will just pass on it. It happened to me before when I was unexperienced back in 2012. We lost some of the properties due to lack of financing options, because when you're in the market, you see good deals and you need to buy them. And in real estate investment side of business, you need a substantial amount of cash to buy properties. And you can, instead of buying one home, you can buy two if you finance part of it, and then you look on cash return. It will sometimes exceed what you will earn only if you buy one home in cash. So use the programs which are available for with A&D, and we can advise you. I can advise. I always advise my investors actually on the programs and offer them. The problem is they don't know.
Exactly.
You need to tell them. The information is vital to have. Again, if you're a mortgage loan originator, you need to spread your word out. You always need to be talking about these programs, because investors, they're not aware. Some of them don't even think about investing because they think, okay, I have this cash amount and I can only buy little apartment and there's nothing to do with it. On investment standpoint, better to buy it's a single family or multi-family. It's easier to renovate and work with it, and easier to finance, because some apartment complexes, they don't have reserves right now. But we can check it for our client and advise on that aspect too.
And the ANG Mortgage also do non-warrantable condos, by the way.
Oh, yeah, very good. And another good point about DSCR, which I forgot to mention, that it's additional verification for investor also, because he will see if his numbers and underwriting was correct on the amount for what he can rent this house or apartment, and he can justify it with another source, and because DSCR appraisal will be completed, and it will tell for what value it can be rented for.
Absolutely. I definitely agree that ANG Mortgage can help you with any deal. We just need to find the right way. Nick, thank you very much. You know everything, man. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for inviting me, and it's definitely a power of yes. That's ANG Mortgage. Thank you for your interview.
Thanks for joining us today, Nick. Your insights into the real estate and mortgage industries are invaluable. Your advice is sure to help our audience of mortgage brokers be more successful in their career. We look forward to having you back on the show soon.